Not sure whether there's any detail there, possibly some darker areas around here, but that could be just the way the light is being displayed on this image. See if I can play with it a bit. Looks slightly overexposed. There definitely is something around that limb there. Could be a dark area. We can switch backwards and forwards between the Atik camera, which is this one we're on here, via the Real World Designs computerized flip box. As you see, this is the format for the control. At the moment it's telling me that the mirror is in. The C1 and A1 commands here are the focusing. This will flip the mirror automatically between one camera and another, and also focus one of the cameras. The camera in the straight through mode on the telescope is the Canon. I'm using a Canon full frame. Use it mainly to locate the item or the subject that I want to look at. This could be slightly off from centre due to polar alignment issues or any other issues. And so once I've aligned it, I'll give you a demonstration of that. If I take the mirror out, you'll see the image disappear on the screen here. Once I refresh that, you'll see it disappear. There we go. If we go to the Canon EOS display, there we are. You can see the image of Venus has popped in there. If I look at it on the close-up or magnification screen, you'll be able to find it somewhere. There we go. You can see it is a crescent. Probably slightly overexposed there, so I'll bring that down a bit by there we go. Oh, that's quite a nice crescent there. I think we can see that that is a true crescent. Sorry about that, I just gave it the full ISO 25600. That's auto, as it'll dive down again, we hope. And then we renew. There we go. So that's 100 ISO. We can step that up a little bit. There's 400. See, it is very, very small crescent, even though it's very bright in the sky. Just imagine how bright it would be if it was full on. Of course, we never see it full on because of the positions of the Earth and Venus in its or in their orbits. We see it as a crescent because in effect, most of the far side of Venus is being illuminated by the sun, and we're on the other side of Venus, so we're just seeing a little bit of it from the angle we're looking at it. It's quite interesting to sort of imagine where you are in the 3D of space, standing on the Earth, but that is basically what's going on. That's not a bad image. Obviously, if you're looking through a telescope, you might see a little bit more detail. You can see the atmospheric jumping around there. There's quite a bit of movement. I'll just take a photograph of that. There we go. And now we'll switch back to the other camera. Obviously, I've got to flip the mirror again. Put the mirror in. Switch on the camera. So I should see an image up here. I think we're a little bit out on the centering here. One of the easy ways to find something, there we go, this we found it. I'm going to cheat and make it very bright, and then you can find out which which direction you need to move the telescope in to pick it up. I think it's quite a nice demonstration there of the flipping between the two. I've got this set on POF, I've got 1 second of arc, so we'll move it 1 second, see which way west moves it. Will it come in? Yes, it does. But you can see it's moved quite a long way, considering it's only 1 second of arc. Bring it again, that should get towards the centre. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. Another one. I think with the backlash on the telescope, you tend to get a big jump on the first step. Now we're going to go up. In theory, north. Come on. I seem to have lost here. I don't know what's going on. Oh. Rather a big jump there. We'll switch back to instant, so we can actually see where it is all the time rather than video. And now I'm going to move it in the direction of the western. Come back, come on. See, it's coming back towards the centre now. I think last time I forgot to synchronise the position on the telescope, and so when I went to Venus again, it jumped a bit. This isn't too bad though. We're getting north now. No, that's not north, that's south. Or should I say it's moved in the opposite direction. You've got to remember that the cameras turn upside down on the telescope as it goes on the equatorial mount from one side to the other. So it's a bit tricky to work it out. That is, work out where the camera needs to move to. That's not a bad centering. I'll now give a demonstration of the focus. We'll try the course to start with. So I'm focusing the camera. Actually, looks quite good that, so it's probably out of focus. That's quite clear. Well, in fact, I'm going to leave that like that. But you could see that it did move quite a bit. The problem is that well, not the problem, but the point is that moving the focuser, which is a helical focuser, by a belt, they don't move exactly the same distance in and out when you're winding the focus in and winding the focus out. There's slight differences. So if I was to do this, for instance, you can see it's gone out of focus, and then we go back, we don't always get to the same point, although that's pretty good. It is pretty good, but it's not perfect. And then you define it, moves it so small you can hardly see it moving. And then you can just tweak it a touch. There you go. So, bearing in mind this is quite a magnified image, if I go back to the original size, as you can see, not a lot of detail there. But that gives a nice demonstration of the software and the hardware at work. This was all developed by Real World Designs and can be purchased from various astronomical suppliers, 365 Astronomy, etc. What I'd like to do now, I think it's getting dark enough, is to move the telescope to slightly more interesting subject. What have we got here? We'll try and go to M74, move the telescope, and you'll see the telescope move, and it's got to now we're going to need a much longer exposure now. We're on thousandths of a second, so we'll try 4 seconds, see what we get. and we'll also just give us a max peak there, and we should be seeing something interesting when this exposure Now I'll show you how useful this change is so that we can get a much better position. If we take the mirror out, obviously the image will go. You won't see it straight away, but it's gone. There we go. And then we go back to the Canon just for a field of view. We go on there and we use a controller. And then again, we need to give it a good. We need to be more sensitive. That'll be no good at all because we'll probably end up fogging the image. Right, let's try 1600 and we'll go to 10 seconds and we'll give it an exposure. See what we get. We should have an image in the middle of the screen or roundabout somewhere in the middle, and that would give me an indication of how I've got to move the telescope to get it dead on M74, I believe it was. This is all armchair astronomy. I haven't looked through the telescope yet this evening. So the way it works is basically all through the NC from the house to the observatory, and in the cold winter night you can still get some cracking pictures without getting your toes cold. Hopefully we'll get an image come through in a moment. For some reason. I think we've run into a bit of cloud. That's unfortunate, but there you go. I think you get the general idea. It certainly seems to have gone cloudy now. We could have a look, see if we can get a Andromeda. I don't know whether we will tonight, but move the telescope. Andromeda just appears as a very fuzzy bit. When it stops, has it stopped? Looks like it. Just try one more exposure, see what we get. We'll try 10 seconds. Although Andromeda is a very large galaxy, it can still take a bit of finding and getting it central into the central of the image, into the center of the image. Here we go. What do we get? Oh dear. I do believe the settings on the That's better. Ah, there we go. You can just see we're a little bit out there. We're seeing it on this side. There you go. Maybe if I shut that, we can see something. I think we must have a bit of cloud about because everything is getting a little bit fuzzy now, which is a shame. Oh, are we down here somewhere? We might be down there. Let's go down and have a look. Yep, there we go. Let's do fit to window and just you can see that we're just down there a bit. So now I'll bring that up. We need to come up. So I think we probably need to come up about 20-30 seconds. So about there. So we'll go there. And then we'll give it another exposure. And here we go.